Hey guys, AK James 762. I'm going to do a video disassembly of my Maverick 88. I don't believe I've done a video on the disassembly yet, and I'll go ahead and do a disassembly. I've got a full stock on it. Got the Hogue overmold stock on there. It's got the rubber pad. I'm not going to take the stock off. There's plenty of videos out there like that. I'm not going to take the stock off. All it is two Phillips head screws, and you pull the pad off, and then it's the big stock bolt that screws into the receiver. You know, if I had a new stock to put on here or something, I had to integrate that into the video, just for informational purposes. But let's go ahead and safety check it. And to safety check, if you guys are unfamiliar with Mossberg shotguns or Maverick 88s, safety is right here. That is fire. And then we got the slide release. So we're going to pull the slide release, cock it back. Nothing in there. Completely empty. Alright. Now, the first thing you want to do is you want to, first of all, if you have a pistol grip on there, a Hogue pistol grip, it's going to cover up this little cutout right here on your trigger housing, or trigger assembly. Trigger housing, whatever you guys want to call it. It will cover that up, so you will need to remove any pistol grips or stocks with pistol grips on them that you have on your gun. We're going to have to pull the slide back a little bit, and then you loosen up this nut up here. It shouldn't be too tight. You should only have it hand tight. You should not use any tools to tighten that any further. And then after you get it, unscrewed all the way, go ahead and pull it out. Barrel comes right out. And go ahead and set that out of the way. And then all we have here is the magazine tube and the receiver and whatnot. I'm not going to take the spring or the follower out of the magazine tube either, because I just don't want to deal with that right now. Alright, the next thing. Now you can use a punch if you want, but you don't have to. You do not need a hammer. I cannot stress that enough. You do not need to hammer this pin out. It is the trigger assembly or trigger housing pin. It's this pin right here with the little dimple in it. Do not pop this one out. Pop this one right here. See a little dimple in there? It's got a dimple on both sides. You just take it. I got a 5/32 punch. Just take the punch, push it right out. Like I said, you don't need to hammer the damn thing out. Just push it out. Came right out. Now it helps whenever you put it back together if you oil it up and help it come out next time. Just for informational purposes. Alright, let me grab a rag. This is not a cleaning video, by the way. It's just a disassembly, reassembly. Okay? And after you pull that pin out, all you're going to need to do, let me try to make sure I get this on camera. That way, nobody's like, I can't see. Alright, so what you do is you grab the trigger guard and you pull up. You're going to pull up from the back first. Okay? Just like this. Pull it out. Pops right out. You don't need to, and a part just fell. You don't need to disassemble this really at all and clean it. You just spray it with some Ballistol, wipe it down real good. Oil it up before you put it back in. And we got two parts in here. And I wanted to show them inside the gun because I took them out. But I guess it got a little antsy and just wanted to pop right out for you guys. Alright, now inside the receiver, if you're even able to see it, which is doubtful because it's black. Anyway, on this side, which would be on the side with the ejection port, there's a cartridge interrupter or cartridge interceptor. And if you can see it on camera, that's great, but if you can't, I apologize. Here it is. Just this little part right here. And that little nipple or whatever the hell you want to call it goes in that hole. Fits right in there. Set that off to the side. flip the gun over, and then on this side we have the Cartridge Stop. And that is right here. Let's see, can you see it? Maybe, maybe not. There it went. Looks very, very similar. It just doesn't have that little nipple thing on there. And then, after that, we're going to go ahead and pull the slide back. And you guys can see that. Pull the slide back. And we are going to remove. It's been a while since I disassembled one of these, so bear with me. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and pull this. This is the part the bolt rides on. Pull that out. And then you can go ahead and slide off your action bar, your slide action bar. Pull it right off the magazine tube. Here's where the Maverick 88 differs from the Mossberg 500. The Mossberg 500 has a very different action tube. Now, the Mossberg 500's action tube is a metal tube, and these arms are connected to the metal tube. And there's a nut at the top, and you have to take the nut off and slide the actual forend off of the metal tube. But on the Maverick 88, these arms are actually pinned to the polymer forend. There is no tube in there. It's just one. This is just one piece with two arms pinned to it, and it adds weight. The Mossberg one adds weight to the Mossberg because it is steel. Personally, I like that. And sometimes you can buy a Mossberg 500 slide action bar, and it will fit on a Maverick, but there are very rare cases where that actually works from my research. Most of the time I was looking into getting a Mossberg 500 slide action bar, and the person who bought it left a review on whatever website, and they said that you put the 500 action bar on a Maverick 88, and it's just the tube is just too tight on the magazine tube, and when you rack, you rack around, it scratches and mars the shit out of the finish on the magazine tube. So that kind of dissuaded me from wanting to do that. I'm going to take out the bolt now. Pull it right out. Push it out towards the front. Grab it out. This would be something that needs to be cleaned. And then you got the shell elevator or whatever you want to call it in here. Shell lifter. I don't know the correct terminology for this part. But that you just squeeze it together like this, pull it right out. And then from here on is when you can hose out the inside with whatever cleaning products you like, and wipe it out, get you a nice rag, get in there, do work. But yeah, that's pretty much it on the disassembly. I mean, you very little parts. I mean, that's the complete disassembly. And whenever I disassemble mine, I just spray things down with Ballistol or that Winchester powder blast, and wipe it down, get it nice and clean, and then I give it another coat of Ballistol before I put it in there just to oil it up. Reassemble it and function check it, and I'm good to go. So I'll go ahead and reassemble it for you guys. So in reverse order, as always with reassemblies. Find the little holes that these little tabs on the shell elevator go in, and it's stuck. There we go. Alright, got that back in there, and then I'm going to put the bolt back in. Make sure you put it in the correct way. This is the front, this is the back. You want it upside down. If you're holding your gun upside down, you just slide it in there. Well, if the damn thing would like to cooperate with me, you can just slide it in there. There we go. Alright, just slide that back. go. Okay. Everything worked properly. Nothing broke. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get the forend back on. Make sure you put this on correctly. Slide it right over the tube. And then there are going to be 2 slots in the front of the receiver where these arms go in. As you can see. It's kind of hard to do it and look at the camera and make sure I'm on there at the same time. You know? But I got it. Damn it. And it just came out. Fun. There we go. Just let it drop back in there. And then you want to get that lined up a little bit with the bolt. It's hard to show it on camera. Let's see if I'll be able to show it. Let me get a light. That could help. Could aid in the process. Maybe, possibly. There we go. See how it's lined up in there? You got this part right here on the action bar, and you got just the little notches lined up. I know I need better lighting. Anyway, when you get that lined up, take the part that your bolt rides on, and you want it in there just like this. This part's the front, this is the back, this is the top, or the bottom, whichever way you want to look at it. If you're holding your gun upside down like this, then it'll go in like that. Alright, this is the front, this is the back. You know, the stock is back here. And drop it right in top. And when you start messing with it, you'll figure out how it needs to be lined up. But as you can see, it's going to be hard to show you on my camera. So I'll just go ahead and do it real quick. And hopefully it won't take too long. Be right back. Okay, got it back in there. And I want to show you, see how close I can get, make sure it stays focused. This little rectangular cutout and this one right here, you can see that those 2 are on both sides, over here too, and over here. Those are the slide action bar. This is the part that the bolt will ride on. This is the bolt itself. Got it back in there. That is how it's supposed to look. I know I've done a little bit of shaky camera work, and my light went dead too, so that's awesome. And we're going to go ahead and get the rest of it in there. Okay. Now we've got the interceptor. Remember, the interceptor is the part with this little nipple or notch or whatever you want to call it, and it goes, that little nipple notch thing goes in this hole. So you're going to be putting it like this. There's a little curved part. This will go up at the opening of the magazine tube where a shell would be. Just take it and stick it right there inside the receiver. Make sure that part goes in that hole. And then this is the cartridge stop. This will go on the opposite side. Again, there is a curved part on the end of it. You want to make sure that is at the mouth of the ejection, or excuse me, at the magazine well, or the magazine tube. Excuse me. Okay, so once those are on there, we're going to go ahead and get the trigger assembly back on. If this will cooperate and sit up like that. Now, for some reason, I've disassembled Maverick 88s and Mossberg 500s. And it always seems like the Mossberg 500 trigger assembly goes right in with absolutely no problem. But the past couple times I've disassembled my Maverick 88, the trigger assembly gave me a little bit of trouble when I put it in. Because I get the front in there, and I go to push the back down, and it wouldn't click in there for some reason. And I finally figured it out, and I can't remember what I did to figure it out, if that actually happens. See, on the trigger assembly, there are 2 cutouts on the corners. See those 2 little notches that are cut out? And they go under this part of the receiver. I'll bring it up there and show you. let's see, little cutouts right here. You can see them on your own gun if you can't see them on the camera, and I apologize, right here. Little corners sticking out. That's where those little, the corners hook. You just want to hook it in there like that. And the front end first. See if I can zoom in a little bit with the camera. Hook the front end in first. And just lower it. Make sure you keep slight pressure forward. Just lower it down. And if you do it right, it should just click right into place. And it's giving me trouble again. There we go. Got it. We're going to click it right back in there, and then we're going to put the pin back in. It's your little trigger assembly pin. There's the hole. And you want to make sure that when you put the trigger assembly back in that it lined up correctly. And I guess putting it in on the correct side would help. Whoops. You gotta kind of, pull back a little bit. Let me zoom back out. Move the camera a little bit. There we go. And you want to pull, towards you on the trigger assembly a little bit, just to pull it out a little bit. Because it's not going to go all the way in. There you go. See, you want to make sure that it's flush right here. Then the pin will go straight in. No problem. You don't want to pull the slide all the way up like I just did. You want to pull it up to make sure all the parts are going to fall into place correctly. But then you want the barrel. Put it in the receiver. Make sure you line these up here. Drop that right on the magazine tube. Remember what I said, hand tight. Pull that slide up. And you go ahead and tighten her up. Hand tight, don't need any tools to tighten that up. And we're going to do a function check. Make sure the safety works. I did engage the safety. Fire, and this is safe. Make sure the safety still works. Then we're going to put it on fire. Dry fired it. Let's do it again. Dry fired. That's good to go. I know this was a rough video, and I hope you guys stuck around. I appreciate the support. I appreciate all my subscribers and all the people that leave comments on my videos. And I try to, respond to all the comments as quickly as I can. Whenever I get a chance, if I see a comment and I'm busy, the next time I get a free minute, just get right on my phone and respond as quick as I can. So, like I said, I appreciate the support. Thanks for watching, and if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Thank you very much.